I would like to preface this video with the following for those who are unfamiliar with this channel or me personally. Number 1, this is a remake of an old video I did back in 2017 about why I hated the Loud House fandom then. It was a very poorly made video from audio-video quality and overall points, and I just wanted to remake it simply because I'm just cool like that. Number 2, I would like to get something perfectly clear. I love the Loud House. It's one of my favourite Nicktoons in fact, although nothing's going to top Invader Zim anytime soon, I'm sure. But that does not mean I can't criticise the fandom when it's a big pile of steaming dog shite. I would also just like to say that if you don't like the Loud House, then that is perfectly fine. Just don't go on a crusade in the comment section about why you think it's bad and why you think I support your viewpoint, because surprisingly enough, even though I said this in the previous video, I had a lot of Loud House haters giving their complaints on the show. And please, let's just stay relevant to the topic at hand, shall we? Can't be that hard. So, as previously mentioned, I made a video in 2017 about the Loud House fanbase, talking about what I disliked about it from the people within. It was a very important video in my channel's overall history, as it currently has 20,000 views to this very day, and is surprisingly still gaining, although very slow, traction. For those of you who don't want to watch the previous video, I honestly don't blame you.
What jackass out here actually has a fetish for this shit?
Here are my original points. Number 1, some of the fan art is disgusting and is made by perverted dipshits. Number 2, Loud Cess is absolutely horrible, and if I had the chance I would round them all up and just... Number 3, the people who make up the fanbase, particularly little kids, were overreactive, whiny, and sometimes straight up psychopathic. I would like to go over some of these points again, but also bring up some more points of toxicity from the fandom that have sprung up very recently, that are much more worth your time. So, let's just dive right in.
Crashing through the crowded halls, dodging girls like ping pong balls just to reach the bathroom on time.
Honestly, I think it was unfair for me to use the fan art as a point for hating the fandom, because while the people who make it are most likely disgusting perverts who like to over-sexualize characters that aren't even canonically over the age of 18, that's pretty much the same for every fandom in existence. You can't really stop Rule 44, even if it is wrong and weird for it to be true for a kids TV show. Loud Cess is also a big talking point in the fandom, of literally everyone being against it. This is something that I won't defend, however, as even though every show is going to have its ships and sexual fan art, having people ship Lincoln with his sisters is wrong on so many levels, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if most of these shippers are from Alabama. Yes, how dare I make that joke so fucking late? This stays true of shows like Gravity Falls, or literally any show where there are characters with siblings or family members. It's fucked up, but thankfully, this is a very minor part of the fandom, who just so happen to be a vocal minority, and they caught the attention of someone who likes to DM people doxing threats, and I spent the last 7 years on 4chan. So overall, while this is definitely fucked in a lot of ways, it's so completely insignificant in terms of the scale of the fanbase, I can't really stay on it for too long, or show you any grotesque imagery because, come on guys, I literally just cleared my search history, don't do this to me.
Leaping over laundry piles, diapers you can smell for miles, guys gotta do what he can to survive.
Now that we got something out of the way that literally took up 60% of the previous video, let's talk about the people, which should usually be the biggest talking point in a video about a fanbase, and thankfully this time around it is. You see, even though I've seen a lot of terrible fan art from this show, nothing could prepare me for such a massive shithole of a community, filled with some of the most overreactive, toxic and annoying fans I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, when I say fans, I obviously do not mean everyone, because I'd hate to generalize the insane amount of people in this fandom that are not only great people but are also very talented. Most of the people in this fanbase are very kind and gifted people, and for every bad piece of art that someone turns out, there's a plethora of great art, comics, fanfics, surprisingly, and little sub-communities within, like my friend Loud Family's Discord server, which you should definitely join by the way. We've got a good little community here. I'm also mod on there, so I'm morally obligated to advertise this whenever the fuck I please. But even though you can say that the fandom is overall pretty okay, the vocal minority will always be a target for people like me, so I can tear into them and expose for what actually goes on in certain parts of these fandoms. God, I'm getting tired of saying the word fandom. Anyway, let's jump into a very spicy topic, shipping.
In the Loud House, in the Loud House, duck, duck, push and shove, that's how we show our love.
Oh, God! Right, so for those of you who are unaware, shipping wars are fucking AIDS cancer. Shipping has never been an interest for me. I can't really see why you would devote yourself to praising a certain ship between two fictional characters. However, I'm fine if you do that, and as long as you aren't a toxic Scrooge, you can rest knowing that I won't judge you. Out loud, anyway. get it because but when it gets to a point where you are incredibly toxic around those who don't support your ship and ship something else, that's when we're going to have a little bit of a problem, because number one, you need help, and two, I'm too busy on my high horse to listen to any of your counters. That wasn't me speaking, that was actually the comment section of my Mabel video, besides the point! Now, this whole shipping war thing is common throughout a lot of fandoms about shows with romantic connections between characters, but I believe that Loud House is in an entirely different league of bad when it comes to this, along with Star Versus, but that's a topic for another day. Easily, the most prominent ships between characters in the fandom is Lincoln and Ronnie Ann, and Luna and Sam, also known as RonnieCon and Saluna. These ships have a lot of fans, but I would like to go over Saluna first. Saluna shippers seem to be divided between two different factions, pretty much. It's either people who want every other ship involving Luna and Sam to be exterminated, or people who will legit call you a homophobic dickwad just because you don't ship them. These sorts of people are obsessive and incredibly toxic if you even dare to try and talk sense into them. Now, I will just say this, I do ship Luna and Sam, but that's only because the show ships it. I only go for mainstream ships because I'm not into shipping. However, I respect people's viewpoints on that ship if they don't ship it, which is clearly what these people see as an alien concept. On to RonnieCon. There really isn't much toxicity surrounding those who ship it, but rather those who are against it, calling it an abusive relationship, despite the fact that it very clearly isn't. They only go on this logic because Ronnie Ann plays rough with Lincoln sometimes, which is honestly a pretty fucking stupid reason to get mad at a ship, I won't lie. And that's it for ships, if I'm being perfectly honest. There are a lot more examples, but the examples I've brought up with Saluna and RonnieCon pretty much paint an exact picture of what shipping wars are like in this fandom. So, essentially, one long, drawn-out Monty Python sketch about battleship wars that never fucking ends.
Me time, a little room to breathe, time, a little quiet and peace.
Here's another thing I think I was a bit too harsh on. Children! I complained that the kids in this fandom were overreactive and whiny and sometimes slightly psychopathic. And even though I stand by that, I really shouldn't have gone on as hard on the kids as I did, because let's be honest, our children are fucking stupid. We all know this because we were all children at one point, and we all remember doing dumb shit, and hell, when I was 10 I was a part of the PewDiePie Defense Squad, and I guess I still am, because I'm not, but I'm just not in a cancerous state. By the way, subscribe to PewDiePie if you haven't. So let's let these kids off, shall we? Completely done, right? Now let's talk about adult children, man babies, masculine, the House of Commons. Generally speaking, fans in this fandom can't seem to let things go and will overreact to pretty much everything, and will sometimes go on a 2013 Mr. Enter style rant about it. Point being, bad Loud House episodes. Loud House isn't exactly perfect and there's quite a few bad episodes, but the two episodes that the fandom have milked to hell and back is No Such Luck and Brawl in the Family. Now I will say this, I've ripped No Such Luck a new asshole multiple times before because it's a fucking horrible episode, and Brawl in the Family, wait, shit, that episode isn't actually that bad? What? People have been telling me lies, the bastard! Now, the main reason people hate these episodes is because they consider them to be, number one, Lincoln torture porn. Torture porns refer to episodes where certain characters are tortured and mistreated for literally no reason other than comedy. Number two, the sisters are uncharacteristically mean. Now, I do get the whole characterization of the sisters complaint, because every character besides Lincoln is a fucking Frankenstein of what they usually are in No Such Luck, and they aren't exactly winning sibling of the year in Brawl either, but some people seem to use these two specific episodes as justifications for having a hate boner for Lincoln's siblings, and constantly stating that they're bad characters, because in other episodes they're only lightly teasing him, being completely unaware that A, that's what siblings do, you twats, and B, these two episodes are only that. 2 episodes. If it was like that for half of the fucking season, I would probably get your point. But only 2 episodes? Seriously? Now on to Lincoln torture porns, No Such Luck is definitely one of them. I absolutely despise that episode because of it. But Brawl in the Family is where he's just being inconvenienced, there's no direct abuse towards him. And it's not just these 2 episodes that people just hate because Lincoln is tortured. The episode Out in the Limo has Lincoln get thrown shit by the world at every angle, but the reason for this is because he deserves it for being such an arrogant prick throughout the final 2 acts of the episode. And even when Lincoln is slightly inconvenienced and lightly teased, people will continuously treat him like some sort of holy saint that should be protected at all costs, and will flame every single episode that has Lincoln being inconvenienced just because Lincoln is, again, only slightly inconvenienced. It's an endless rabbit hole of shit.
At least I'm never lonely. We're never lacking for sports day.
The Loud House Amino is a load of absolute dog swank, and I won't show any images of the toxicity because when I went to screenshot a toxic argument over an opinion on Ronnie Ann, the whole fucking thread was deleted. Absolute joy. But ask any prominent member of the Loud House Fandom on Twitter where they think most of the toxicity stems from, they'll probably say the Amino. After being on the Amino for a while before deleting my account out of boredom, I can document several events that I saw happen. Even though I can't prove any of this because I don't have screenshots, but seeing as how literally everyone hates the Amino, you'll just have to take my word for it, that's absolute shit. Number 1, people are opinionated cucks who can't take something as simple as an episode suggestion. Number 2, people will go to great lengths to harass members of the community they don't like. Now hold on, I have got evidence of this. So a while back, my friends over at Loud TV got into a bit of a kill me now situation involving a specific individual who had the bright idea to stalk their YouTube channel for months on end, the dislike spam and comment spam using multiple accounts. There are also other examples, but again, I don't got the bloody screenshots, so I'm fucked. Number 3, I've heard multiple accounts of racism and homophobia on there. In fact, I've heard it from multiple parts of the fandom, of it being over my Twitter feed quite a bit now, and you know, since I don't have screenshots, I can't prove shit again. Fucking shit, fucking piece of fucking. Now let's talk about YouTubers. There are quite a lot of loud tubers to pick from, but oh yeah, fuck me. First off, we have Sly. Now, Sly isn't exactly a toxic YouTuber and definitely not a bad person, but their content is painfully subpar. Not only that, but in some of their previous videos, they act incredibly childish and give childish reasons for certain things. Just wanted to get that out of the way before we get into the next one, because Jesus Christ! This is honestly shocking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dion Garth. Now, on the surface, Dion seems like your everyday below average reaction channel. He steals episodes, content isn't interesting the slightest, and overall, just a bad channel. But what I had no idea was a thing was this guy's live streams and personal things that are away from his usual content, because oh my lord!
You fucking fuck you! Well, you know what? I wish you could go kill yourself, you motherfucking nigger. Shut the fuck up, you fucking Filipino fucking whore. I hate Asians. Shut up. Asians are fucking ugly. I wish my mom was dead. I hate my mom. I wish her fucking liver exploded. Seriously, I fucking hate Mexicans. I will fucking get AIDS. Let's get away from them. You're liar. You're half blind. You're fucking fat. And nobody loves you. Your nephew. I'll fucking beat the shit out of him. Shut up. And your fucking mother. Dion. If you're from Mexico, fuck your country. You fucking poor ass fucking burritos. If I could blow the whole fucking country of Mexico, I would. And you know what? They can't fucking speak English. If you're Germans, oh hell Hitler. Yeah, I like Hitler. You Germans are fucking obsessed with fucking sausages. That's why you're all fucking overweight. Just shut the man the fuck up and stop whining like a little bitch. Now how you feel, you fucking ass faggot? I really hope I can break your fucking ghetto ass rapping fucking head off. So you know, go kill yourself. You're like Riley and Ryan, so get the fuck away from me before I fucking do something.
Okay, so we've essentially got the Loud House Fandom's equivalent of DJ Keemstar right here. Brilliant. Told his mod to kill himself, is repeatedly racist and obnoxious, clearly has anger issues, is clearly bipolar, is creepily open about his weird ass fetishes to his fanbase of children, and not only that, but this is also he's also open to crying for help about his depression on YouTube, and then is surprised when the video asking his fanbase of children how he would have felt if he killed himself got a community guideline strike. Wow, what a piece of human flaming shit. How have YouTube not removed this guy? Like, he literally breaks every single guideline imaginable. How the fuck can he still get support from people after this as well? And apparently, he's no longer able to upload on his one channel, which is great because no one liked his content anyways besides small and impressionable kids that he was openly racist and offensive to. I would say fuck this guy, but that seems too generous. Oh yeah, here we go. Go fuck yourself, you living piece of shit, and I hope you never upload another video again. Well, that got surprisingly heated. Jesus Christ.
Wouldn't trade it for the world.
Pedophiles are to be expected in the fandom of a show about a bunch of kids, and I have already talked about the fan art, but I want to go over some more things. Firstly, these people are fucking everywhere, even Dion the cuck himself. They're so ridiculously common, in fact, there was even one on the Loud Family Discord server which I banned right after taking these screenshots. This is how rampant they are throughout the community. And hell, there could be one watching this video now. But that's not everything. I have one more thing to show you regarding fan art. And look, I know I went over fan art and Loudcest, but this is just a whole new level of fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, the Loud House Boo Room.
It does look like shit.
What's that? I can't show you anything except for a blurred image? Yes, of course, because the people on this website are fucked. If you were at all interested in seeing how low sexual fan art of underage characters can go, then this website is for you. But I do not recommend ever looking at this site, and I won't even link it in the description. A simple Google search is good enough to find it. But please do yourself a favour and just don't. After seeing the Loud House Boo Rule, you will immediately want to become a Christian so you can go to church and purge the demon within you. Because, oh my god, I'm just gonna stop if that's okay with you. Well, is that in depth enough for you? I am so done with trying to explain why this fandom is horrible. It's filled with so many just blatantly terrible people, and that's why I'm just gonna stop talking about it for a while. But is it the worst fandom ever? I don't think so, to be honest. I'd say there's a lot worse that have already been covered numerous times, cough cough wink wink, but again, I must stress that these people only take up small portions of the fanbase. There are so many gifted, wonderful and loving people in this community that overlooking them would be a crime. So here's a shout out to all my personal favourite LoudTubers and members of this community. Loud TV. I've gone over this channel a few times, but it's run by Loud Family and it's honestly a pretty good channel for Loud House news. They also have the Loud Crowd podcast, where they talk and discuss things related to the Loud House that happened recently, and they also interview some people too. The podcast is actually on iTunes, so if you're interested, you can get it on there, and it's also available on YouTube. The Linster. Linster has been a good friend for a while, and they make pretty acceptable content, so I would definitely recommend subscribing if you're interested. Leaf Loud. Leaf makes MVs, compilations, and occasional show news, and is overall a pretty great guy. His videos aren't perfect, but he does try his best, and you know, that's good enough to warrant a sub. Loud House 728. 728 makes edits, compilations, the basic stuff, and you know, it's a pretty enjoyable channel. Guappy. Guappy has sort of stopped making Loud House content as much, but still makes okay content and is pretty entertaining from time to time, so I would consider definitely giving him a chance. Sunny Eclipse. Sunny is a great person, she's also a great artist and does commissions, although her pinned tweet does detail what flies and what doesn't for commissions. Ryan, or Graffiti Ferb. Ferb is generally a great guy and a massive nerd. We get along fine. And that's it for people I'm friends with who I think deserve a shout out the most, but there are still a lot of talented people in every corner of the fandom. So now that we're done with the bad stuff, let's all focus on how great the community is in most areas instead. Anyways, I've been Cartoonshi. Have yourselves a great night, day, or whatever it is in your time zone, and please, please stay great. Also, don't search up the Loud House Boo, I might have to come and kill you.